welcome back to another video.
You guys know that we are besties, but we weren't always besties. So we're going to be showing you toxic traits in friend relationships because we have both had toxic relationships. And a little disclaimer, we are not calling out the people who we've had bad relationships with. Just sometimes friendships don't work out, and that's okay. And we're just trying to help people who might be in toxic relationships but don't know it.
So guys, if you are in a toxic situation, we are here to help you. And yeah, we've both been in toxic situations. We've both been around toxic people that like drain us and stuff. So we're going to show you some ways on how to cope with them.
Yep, and
how to get out of a toxic relationship. You know,
and like some friends that might be toxic.
Friendship. I've been in a toxic friendship.
Okay, let's get into it.
Anyways,
so we'll take turns saying something. I'll go first. You do want to make sure that
take notes.
Yeah, take notes. If you are putting all your energy into trying to build the foundation, be a good friend, not tear them down, then sometimes you won't notice if they're not being a good friend to you. So you want to still be a good friend to them, but also pay attention to whether they're being loyal to you, because whether you guys are both happy matters. And you both have to be nice to be in a good relationship.
Yes.
And that's what I reminded myself when I got in a bestie relationship with this.
Okay, she's the best. Go. She's the best.
You can give some advice.
So, guys, I would say the first thing in a toxic situation is if they're like really like negative.
Yeah, if they don't notice how you feel.
Like negative. Like if they're not if they're not like listening to like how you feel and stuff, and they like neglect you, then that is toxic.
That is toxic.
That is toxic. If a person really cared about you, then they would really like listen to you, to your feelings. Yeah. Do not let that happen to you ever.
But
ever.
Also listen to their feelings too, because you could figure out that you are actually being a toxic friend without knowing it, and that's not good. Be nice to everybody, whether they're nice to you, because when I had a falling out with my friend, basically a breakup, but we're not going to get into that, I would try to be as nice as I could. I couldn't deal with it anymore, and I tried to be loyal and sweet and still caring. So we ended up still being friends for a while after, and then they messaged me and they were like, "You don't want to be friends with me, do you?" And I was like, "No," because sorry, I have a bad cough. It's like winter.
Yeah, guys, there's a dry cough going around. Yeah. It's just the weather.
Yeah. What was I saying? And I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but like he had been texting me, I hadn't been responding because I couldn't do talking to them anymore. So, yeah, that was basically my advice. You go.
Another trait is if a friend ever gossips about you, like if they tell your secrets to like another person,
even their family, even their mom,
that is
siblings.
Toxic. You need to get out of that situation right now, I swear, because I've been through it. I was telling my old bestie a secret about me and my ex-boyfriend, and she told my grandma without me knowing.
That's toxic.
She was gonna do it without me knowing, and I heard her gossiping about me behind my back, and I was like, why are you telling her whenever I told you not to tell anyone?
Yeah, like if your friend gives you any advice, like
that is like
give
that
them
is
advice.
That is just a bad friend. Like if they were really a good friend, then they wouldn't tell your secrets. They would keep it to themselves.
Yeah. Like she told me a secret more recently about, her life. I'm not gonna exploit it because I'm a good friend. And I felt bad, and you give them advice. You don't go telling their family and their friends about it. Her grandma already knew about it, so she did say something about it, but
still, don't gossip. Don't gossip. Don't gossip.
Yeah, and
that's a bad friend. Bad friend trait. Toxic trait.
If you realize that you were nervous to say that you don't like, something that you don't like, that you want to end the call, if you were nervous to say that, if you were nervous to say, "Oh, I don't like the video, can we redo it?" That's toxic. That either means that you don't want to be told no and you're scared of being told no, or that you have been in trouble before with saying something that you're upset about with the friend. They've gotten mad at you about that before. So make sure you realize if it's one of those. Because if it's the second one, then get out of the relationship. Tell them, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're toxic. Bye.
Yeah, and then just move on. But guys, I learned that, like, once you block them, then you, like, start to forget about them.
But
I know,
just block them.
I know that it's hard to let somebody go because I've been through it. But, like, once you let the person go and once you just, like, get rid of them, then you'll get over it faster and you will feel so much better than you've ever had in your life.
I had a friend that was my friend since we were, like, 4. And here's a trait. Or not a trait, but here's something that you can tell. If your family doesn't like them and you're like, and they're like, you shouldn't be in that relationship.
That's also toxic.
Listen to your siblings because your siblings know you and they know what's toxic and what's not good for you, especially if it's your older siblings because they probably been through that.
Also,
listen to them because your siblings could be right and you could get out of the toxic relationship before it gets worse.
If your friend doesn't like your siblings or your family, then that is toxic.
That's toxic. One of the reasons why I knew she was such a good friend was because she got along great with my little sister, and a lot of people don't get along with her because she's
sweet.
It's hard to get along with. She's
sweet.
She's little. She likes her.
She's 6, but she's still really
real.
She's nice. She's nice though.
Nice to you.
Yeah, she's sweet. She's sweet. And
but if your siblings don't like them, then
I love her siblings.
Sometimes siblings can lie, but your siblings, usually they do want what's best for you. So you want to listen to them or at least think about what they said. Because my siblings did not like the person who I was friends with. And I was friends with them for years.
Also.
And they were right. I decided it for myself.
Also, another thing is if you're friends with somebody or if you're in a relationship and you set, like, good boundaries for yourself and they disrespect them, then that is also toxic.
Yes, that has happened to me. I had a rule because they would constantly call me, and I had a rule 3 times. If I don't answer 3 times, then stop calling. I will text you later. And if I respond like I'm busy, don't call me again. And they didn't follow that. They followed it for like a week, and then they stopped.
If a person disrespects your boundaries, then that is toxic. That is really toxic. If they can't accept you for who you are,
toxic.
Let them go. Drop them.
Get out of here. There's the door. Walk out.
Walk out. I don't want to be around someone like you. Shoot.
Yeah. We might be repeating a few things, but just ignore that. We don't have the best memories. We bad memory besties.
Well, we are real besties, and we are we are both in a healthy friendship. Very healthy friendship.
But if you do realize that somebody is being toxic to you, let them know before you just end it. Like, if they're really, really toxic, end it. But let them know before. Be like, hey, that was really rude. Can you please apologize? And if they don't apologize and they're rude about it, toxic, leave.
That's toxic.
Yeah. But if they apologize and they try to stop and they did not know, then toxic, then that's fine.
Even if they
try and work it out.
Even if they do know what they did wrong, but they don't act like they don't know what they did wrong, then that is toxic because they are just trying to manipulate you to get their way.
Yeah, and sometimes you like accidentally interrupt them, and like sometimes if I accidentally interrupt her, I'm not meaning to. I'm not meaning to be a bad friend and interrupt her. But sometimes they will, so let them know what they're doing wrong because they might not notice that that's what they're doing. They might not know. Let them know, and if they stop, then you can keep trying at the friendship. But if they don't, then that's toxic.
Always be honest.
Yeah, just tell them and let them know.
Just tell them how you feel.
Especially if you really like the relationship. If you're like, I don't really like this friend that much, then you don't have to really give it a second try, but at least try.
Also,
if you want to keep it.
If you're in a relationship and if they try to control you, like if they like try to control you for like what you wear or like what you're doing or who
they drag you out of the mirror when you try to look at yourself and admire your confidence and how beautiful you are,
or who like you hang out with,
personal experience,
or who you hang out with, you know, like you should never let somebody just control you like that because that is called using somebody, and that is toxic. That is not I can't talk. It is Sorry guys, I suffer from mild autism and I struggle a lot with it, so.
Yeah, and same goes for siblings too. If your siblings are being rude to you and doing this stuff, usually it's just messing with you, and let them know and be like, hey, that really upset my feelings. Can you please try and not do that? That's what happens with my siblings. They will be messing with me and I'll be like, hey, please don't make fun of my height. Don't make fun of my nose. My brother makes fun of my nose. I told him to stop. He stopped. If they don't stop, then you can't really cut your siblings out of your life, but just like try and be nice to them and just kind of stay in your own lane. Because you can't cut your siblings out of your life, but if they're not treating you right, that's still not okay. And you still need to tell them. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell somebody who you can tell. And they will tell
somebody that you trust.
Someone you trust. Like her, I'll tell him. I'll tell you anything.
Yes.
I'll tell you anything. And if they're uncomfortable to be with you in public too. If your friend is uncomfortable with being with you in public, that's not good. Because that means that they're embarrassed of you. And that's not nice. That's not nice. I will hold this girl's hand in public. I will give her a kiss in public because I love her. And if someone thinks we're a couple, I do not care. Because I love my bestie and I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Yes. I love her.
I don't care if people come up to us and be like, ew, gays, gross. I'm like, okay,
it's just a best friend.
We're besties.
It's just a best friend thing.
We're besties. We're not dating.
No.
Ew. No. Ew. I can do better. I'm kidding. I can't do better. Yes. You can do better than me, though.
Yes. Yes, guys.
You agreed with me.
What?
You agreed that you can do better than me.
Oh. Ah! I'm sorry.
I know. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
And also, if your bestie is continually saying sorry about something, then let them know and be like, hey, it's okay. You don't have to apologize.
I am very apologetic, guys. I apologize to her multiple times because if I'm like laughing a lot or if I make a mistake about something, it makes me feel bad.
Let them know that it's fine and you still love them. Because they're your bestie and you want to try with your bestie. Unless you don't really care about them.
Just let them know that everything is okay.
And if you got a crush on your bestie, you probably want to let them know. Because the second I started having feelings for mine, I told them right away. And they asked me to be their girlfriend. And I couldn't because I was too young. My mom wouldn't let me. Boo-hoo. But I'm glad I didn't because then it would have been an actual breakup. And I didn't want that toxic person being my first boyfriend. Like, no. I want my first boyfriend or girlfriend to be nice.
Yes.
Okay, you go.
Yes.
You say something. Toxic trait.
Can
I remember?
I'm trying to think of something.
Okay, here, I'll say something that you think.
What?
Okay. Or do you want me to take it?
Can you say something?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
See, I do it again, guys. Yes, see, guys, I do it again, guys. See, like when I say sorry, she like lets me know that everything is okay, and that's what I want. I just want reassurance to know that everything is okay.
And another thing, build up their confidence. Make them feel good about themselves. Tell them they are beautiful inside and out. They are perfect. Don't just compliment their appearance, even though their appearance is beautiful. Just say you love their personality, you love who they are, you love them. And if they're admiring themselves in a mirror, admire yourself with them. And if they're doing something that they shouldn't do, let them know. And if they're in a mirror and you need to go, just be like, okay, bestie, you look great. Keep admiring yourself, but we gotta walk. We gotta walk, girl. We gotta walk. Yes, we gotta walk, bestie. We gotta walk.
Also, if they have lack of compassion.
Lack of compassion.
Lack of compassion. Like if they're not sensitive to you and how you feel, they're only sensitive to their needs. That is toxic. If they really loved you, then they would be sensitive to your feelings and be like, hey, like what's going on? They would call you. They would hit you up. They would be like, what's wrong?
What's wrong?
What is wrong?
And if you know them super well and you're like, and they're doing something that they usually do when they're sad, be like, okay, we need to have a talk. What is wrong, girl? I'm calling you. You were telling me what's wrong. I'm getting you popcorn. I'm driving to your house and giving you popcorn, and we were going to have a discussion.
That is what a real bestie
We're
do.
going to have a discussion.
That is what a real bestie would do. They would call you and just blow up your phone and be like, bestie, tell me what's wrong. Tell me.
Tell me. And if they don't tell you, then they might be afraid to open up to you. And don't force them to open up, because sometimes they're not.
Just give them time
not
to,
happy.
like, decompress.
Yeah. Don't just be like, okay, tell me what's wrong or I'm gonna murder you. Give them time.
Never do that. Never.
Like, be like, okay, what's wrong?
Also,
If
don't
they're
spread.
like-
Also, don't spread rumors about them. That's really bad. That's happened to me multiple times.
Yeah. But if, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. It was something about what we were just talking about. What were we just talking about? What did we just say?
I don't remember.
Bad memories, besties. Bad memories.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
I'm trying hard not to be clingy.
But
Sorry.
if your friend is constantly hitting you up and is like, what's wrong, be like, I'm not super comfortable telling you. I will tell you when I'm ready. If they don't stop, that's not the best. I mean, they
That's
care
not-
about
no.
you, but you want
Alone time to decompress
Yeah.
your feelings. And then once you feel comfortable, you can tell them.
like a good bestie. She has said something was wrong, like a breakup. Her breakup, I'd ask her about it, and she said that she didn't want to talk about it. I shut up about it, and I have not mentioned it since, because I don't want to be a controlling bestie. If she wants to tell me about it, she can tell me about it. If she wants to tell me about any toxic friendships, she can tell me. She can do that on her own. Let them do it on their own. Don't force them,
Don't
because that's
ever.
toxic.
Yeah, don't force anybody to talk about feelings.
Yes. You want to be good to your friend.
Also,
Wanna be nice.
also if they play the victim.
Yeah.
That's really bad too. Playing the victim is a really bad thing.
And if somebody is continuously, if you're not feeling sad and they're like, bestie, what's wrong? Be like, nothing is wrong, I promise. I'm just thinking and I need to decompress my feelings and just think about some stuff. Just let me be for a second and put your phone on silent. Just put your phone on silent. And one of the worst ways to break up with a friend is by just blocking them. Tell them you're going to break up with them, because I had that happen to me and it burns. It hurts. Because it was a long time ago and I had Kids Messenger. And when someone blocks you, you don't know. They still show up in your contacts. So
Toxic people will always come back at you.
Yeah.
They always come back. Always.
yeah, they blocked me and I didn't even know. You want to know how I figured out? Because they texted my brother and said, well, I blocked her. I guess I need to block you. I didn't even know they blocked me. I was unaware. And later they texted me again bragging about their new friends. Which was weird.
Guys, if they come back, block them. They're not worth it.
Yeah.
All they want to do is try to hurt you again and do the same thing that they did to you in the past.
But if they are actually apologizing and they actually feel bad and they're like, I will do this, I will fix this, then maybe if you really want to give them another chance and you really love them, maybe give them another chance. Set boundaries. Be like, okay, but you have to...
Always have healthy
Yeah.
ground boundaries.
You have to stop calling me constantly. And if they actually make an effort to try, then they're not trying to be toxic and they want to still be friends with you. Like, I had a friend, the friend that I'm talking about, they had really bad anger issues. So I tried to let it slide, but they were just so mean to me sometimes. So I didn't let that slide. And the funny thing was, well, we were having a conversation about not being friends anymore. They kept like yelling at me and being like, I don't want to be friends with you anyway. And then like an hour later they'd be like, no, take me back, I'll take my anger meds, I don't want this anymore. And I was like, okay, maybe. And then texted again, like, I hate you, you're such a bench.
Binge. She calls it binge, which
Yeah.
is like the B word.
Yeah, I actually have said it in front of her before, but I'm not saying it on camera.
Yeah.
It's light swearing though, light swearing.
Yeah,
Only like accidental,
light swearing.
basically.
Light swearing.
Light swearing.
Yeah.
Quiet swearing too. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't love swearing, but is there anything else you want to say about toxic friendships?
Well,
Any experience things?
if they call you ugly.
Oh yeah, making fun of your appearance.
If
That's not
if
okay.
they make fun of you for what you do.
Except if you are really good friends and they call you ugly, maybe. If you do it to each other, they're like really good friends and you're like, you ugly bitch, and you're like, oh, you ugly too. Like, that's a joking thing, but if you're not feeling it and you don't want to have the joking thing, Tell them. Let them know, because they don't know. They don't know that you don't want it to be joking.
Yeah, and like I was called ugly, and the toxic person was just like, "Oh my gosh, why are you overthinking? Stop taking that so seriously." I was like, "Okay,
You're making me insecure. Stop.
you're making me insecure. Why? If that wasn't a joke."
Yeah, and there are a lot of things you can notice with your friend. And if you're good enough friends, like if you notice them, they're bouncing their knee and they look stressed out, you think they're having an anxiety attack, put your hand on their knee, reassure them, make sure they're okay, make them feel better. If you notice that they have a sad look on their face and they look stressed, be like, yo, you good? Yo, you okay?
Kind
and if
of like this with the clinginess, kind of.
Yeah, and if a friend is like, if you accidentally keep cutting them off and you keep finishing their sentences, if someone keeps doing that to you, tell them, let them know, because they probably
Just
don't mean
listen.
it to.
Listen to them.
Yeah,
Listen to them. Just let them talk.
yeah.
Don't interrupt them.
But
If they're talking about something really important, don't interrupt them.
But if you accidentally do it, or if your friend accidentally does it, or they do it, just be like, hey, can you not interrupt me again? If they're not trying to, they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You go. If they're really a good friend, they would do that.
Yeah.
Like, I've accidentally interrupted her before, and I've been like, am I interrupting you? Do you want to talk? Here, you go.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Sometimes I get shy to talk. Sometimes.
Yeah, don't be nervous to talk about your friend, because if they're actually a good friend, they'll listen and they'll say sorry.
Oh, well, somebody that you trust.
Somebody you trust.
You can talk to about. Yeah. Yes.
And if you're like, for an example, if you are watching Friends with your friend, this is an experience that's happened to us before. If you're watching Friends with somebody and they're like, who is that? Who's that girl in the white dress? Tell them. Be like, oh, that's Rachel. Like, if in the first episode, if you know.
Yeah.
Tell them, and if they're asking questions about it and they keep forgetting about it, just let them know. It's not that hard to be like, oh, that's Rachel. Oh, this is why they had that joke. This is the reasoning for that joke. It's not that hard to be a good friend like that. This is kind of a long video. We should probably end it.
Yeah, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed our toxic traits. If we think of any more, then we will make a part 2.
Yeah, but if your friend has any of this stuff, let them know. Talk to them. Try to work it out.
Please.
If they don't stop, set boundaries. Try and figure out why they're doing it.
Healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries. Tell them. Let them know. If they're a good friend, they will try and stop it. Most of the time, they don't even notice. Like, sometimes I accidentally do rude things, and if she just tells me, I don't notice that I'm doing them. I feel bad for doing them. And apologize if you do them. Apologize to your friend if you realize. You're like, oh, I interrupted you. I'm so sorry. You go.
Yeah. Yes.
Apologizing is the best.
It's just like that. It's always apologize and express your feelings.
Mm-hmm. And if they're feeling nervous or they can't speak or something, just kind of be like, yeah, and kind of just like help them through their words. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe to her channel.
My
She's
channel.
the best. And subscribe to me.
Subscribe to this. This is the best. She is amazing.